Originally was supposed to start at 1 to make better use of the time. Sir Alex decided to talk to you personally about the upcoming session and also some career advice. So I hope you learned something from that, and I hope Sir Alex also learned something from all of you guys. Ayan. So since sino sa inyong first time ulit maka-attend? Ayan, welcome. Sana po maka-attend pa po kayo ng maraming training. Ayan, meron pa po tayo next week. Okay, so with that, start na po natin ang afternoon session. Ayan, so, sana ako? Dito. Okay, so good afternoon. And I hope all of you are ready, your tummies are full, and ready to hear from our guest speaker for today. And welcome to the UP Engineering Library User Training on Electronic Databases PM session of the IEEE Research Training. Titled, Course Assignment with Professional IEEE Format, Your First Step in Scholarly Communication. So I am Lex, your host and moderator for today, and I am one of your information services librarians. Okay, so before we proceed with Sir Alex's talk, let's just have a quick walkthrough about the 𝒉𝒔𝒊𝒐𝒏 remote access portal. So you will know how to access it at the comfort of your own homes. To walk us through, let us warmly welcome the head of UP College of Engineering Information Services Section, Ms. Noeline Go, please. Noeline.
Thank you, Ms. Lex. Who were not able to attend the AM session? Okay, so madami-dami din pala. So, before we go with Sir Alex's talk, we would just like to show you how to access IEEE via our remote access portal. So the first step is to always log in to your UP Mail accounts. For those who were not able to attend the AM session, may I know if you have already tried using the remote access portal? You did. Okay, that's good. So as you can see, when you log into your UP Mail, there's an app launcher at the upper right corner. That's that 9 dots there. So if you click that, you will see the different apps that you can avail, including the 𝒉𝒔𝒊𝒐𝒏 Remote Access Portal. It's the easy icon there. And if you click it, you will be directed to the database index. It's the list of electronic resources that we are subscribed to, that the College of Engineering is subscribing to, as well as the ones being bought by the UP system. So since most of you are already on their research classes. Tama ba? Ayun. So it's nice that you are now familiar with the remote access portal. What's good about having the remote access portal is that even if you are not inside the campus, even if you are at your homes, at your, in your provinces, outside the country, you can still do your research work. So you just have to log into your UP Mail and access the remote access portal. So as you can see, we have IEEE Explorer from the list. You just click it and then you will be directed to the platform. And then, if you're inside the campus, you have the option to go through the remote access portal, but you can also go to the library's website. So from our website, you can see resources there, and then from databases, you can click, or ebooks or e-journals, you can choose databases that you think you can use for your research or assignments. So you will know that you have access to the IEEE Explorer platform when you see the authentication access provided by the University of the Philippines, Diliman. So now I'm going to give the floor to to Miss Lex and Mr. Alex. So their names rhyme.
And thank you, Ma'am Noe. Before we introduce our speaker, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Prof. 𝒔𝒔𝒊𝒐𝒏 from Triple M. Hello po, ma'am. Yan. Ay, tsaka si Prof. Aurelia Michelina. Hello po. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Faculty po natin yan ng engineering. Okay. So, ayun. Now you know how to access the IEEE Explore platform through the Easy Proxy. Now, let us proceed to to our main topic for this afternoon. I will just introduce our speaker for this afternoon. Alex Liu Yupeng is the Manager for Client Services Asia at IEEE, who works closely with customers in APAC to provide customized learning opportunities about publishing, with the IEEE and in-depth training sessions to help users master best practices in searching IEEE Explore digital library. Alex graduated with a master's degree in information studies from Nanyang Technological University and was an academic librarian from National University of Singapore Libraries, with 9 years of experience in librarianship. Now let us welcome Sir Alex. Give him a round of applause.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm back. Thank you so much and welcome back for those who has joined the morning session. Generally after lunch with all those carbs and the food in the stomach, we tend to be quite sleepy. So I would like to encourage everyone to take out your mobile phone and scan the QR code, or you can key in this URL with the code, but scanning the QR code is actually better, right? For those who have participated in the morning, welcome back. We can still do it. I have like 2 or 3 different questions to ask. This is an anonymous survey. The QR code is the same throughout the slide, so you just scan the same QR code. If you have scanned it, you don't need to scan it again, right? So on the screen, you'll be seeing something like this, and you can click on the thumbs up just to indicate your participation. So right now we have 12. Someone is like happily pressing the thumbs up. Thank you so much. We have 19, 20. The first one is trying to understand your role. So just now I briefly asked everybody to show a hand, and now it's like a more formal way. Just for information, this is an anonymous survey. We are not collecting any personal information, your mobile number, any information, right? So just trying to understand. Majority of us are actually coming from year 4, I believe. That's why year 3, year 4 is here. We do have our master, we do have our PhD students as well. Thank you so much for taking our time. And once again, thanks to our faculties and our researchers and librarians joining. Which department are you from? So this should be a pretty strict one. EEE, and we are IEEE, right? It's the other way around. Okay. DMMME. Department of Mining. Okay. Architect. Yes, this is the one. Mining, metallurgical and materials engineering, materials science. Chemical engineering, welcome. This is very good. Thank you so much. It shows the relevancy to our topics today because for today we are talking about technical research. Right, engineering, technologies, and all these. And this is actually the most important one. Have you worked in any course assignment before. Just now I was trying to explain what is a course assignment. Sometimes it's individual work, sometimes you need to work in a group. Most of us have worked in both individual and group. This is very good. You already have the experience. That makes my job much easier. But because you have already tried it to see how it works, I'm sure a lot of the things I have shared, you already gone through it. So we just recap and re-emphasize. The next two is about your experience of using platforms, databases. Have you used any database or search engines? In the morning, we do have participants share their experiences. So for those who just joined in the afternoon, think about when you are doing your coursework, assignment, have you used any particular database or search engine or platform? Google Scholar is one, actually explore. Okay, this is good. So we already have 17 of us who has experience of using databases. That helps a lot because you know how the database works. You know what's inside. You know how to find a paper, at least the basic stuff. That helps in terms of diving in depth with what we have today, which is IEEE Explore Digital Library, right? And the next one is your experience with IEEE Explore Digital Library. How long have you been using it? Never heard of it, but haven't used it yet? Or you have been using it recently? Okay. So IEEE Explore Digital Library pretty much focus on four things, actually, which is one thing, which is, we call it STEM, S-T-E-M, all in capital letter. S for science, T for technology, E for engineering, M is a consolidation of mathematics, medicine, and management. So IEEE's focus is on the whole spectrum of these. It's not just electrical or mechanical or civil or industrial, no, it's the whole spectrum, all right? The next one, I will leave it for you to specify what are the things you would like to know from today's session. You can please be specific. Please don't say, oh, I want to know about course assignment. That's not specific. Which part of it? Are you looking for finding reference materials? Are you looking for preparing for your research papers? Are you looking for experimental design? Are you looking for algorithm, architecture, and all those stuff? Right? Are you looking for analyzing of data, collection of data? Which part? Or in a simple form, why are you here? It's Monday, there's no class. Why do you take your time to come to the library to listen to this? What's your aim? What are the things you want to get? I do have a lot of things to share, but it's actually more important for me to learn from you so that I can prepare and deliver according to your need, right? That question is open. On your mobile phones, you can still key in the questions you have. I'm just hiding it so that you don't see other people's questions. All right? So I will start my sharings for today. The topic for this afternoon is we are focusing on course assignment with Professional IEEE Format. The focus is on scholarly communication, pretty much on the preparing a research paper or preparing a research report. But in order for us to do that, you need to have things to report. It's like a journalist. They want to report news. The number one thing is not about the writing. The number one thing is about the news. So what is new? Right? Your English is very good, but if there's no content, there's no point. So the actual key component is your course assignment first. You need to find the research topic, solve the problem with your own solutions or your own methods, analyze the results, then you report what you have done. So in the first part, I will be sharing with you a brief discussion of the components of your course assignment. Of course, this is a very generic, and thanks to your sharing, more than 80% of us has already have experience in doing course assignment, right? Either it's a group project or individual project. I'll also share with you in terms of manuscript preparation. If you have done a course assignment, I'm sure you have written a report, most likely using Microsoft Word, right? Any other softwares? OpenOffice? LaTeX? Undergraduate? No, right? not undergraduate. You're just scaring me. Anyone writing using LaTeX in undergraduate? Okay, you must be the smart student. But generally, in the beginning, we all start with Word for coursework because LaTeX takes quite some practice. But we do have resources for you in terms of manuscript preparation. We do have templates, and we do have resources for students as well. The next few slides is for those who didn't come in the morning. You might be wondering, who is this guy standing here talking about all these? Where is he from? I'm from IEEE. IEEE is an organization, 140 years old, started in the 1884, exactly 140 years earlier. Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, they formed an organization or institute called American Institute of Electrical Engineers. This is not a company. This is not a school. This is more like a professional society. It's like the engineers with the common interest in the latest development in technologies. In UP Diliman, you also have a lot of student organizations, right? You have Mathematics Society, Physics Society, you might have a guitar club. You like to play guitar, you can join the club, something like that. But of course, in this case, we are talking about technologies. And in 1912, another batch of people formed Institute of Radio Engineers. As the name suggests, their focus is on communications, telecommunications, Morse code and all these. 1963, those too much to become the current IEEE. A lot of us are coming from EEI, right? Electrical Electronic Engineering Institute. IEEE is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. The only difference is, although the name says electrical and electronics, but we cover not only electrical and electronics. We cover the whole spectrum: computer science, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, industrial, chemical, pretty much anything to do with what I have repeated: science, technology, engineering, medicine, mathematics, management, engineering management, right? So currently, we are the world's largest professional organization when it comes to technology and the people. We have members, which are our foundations, and these members form different societies. I know a lot of us are very interested in AI, especially since ChatGPT came out. Suddenly, everybody is an expert in AI. The person has zero knowledge in programming, zero knowledge in computer science. Once they know ChatGPT, hey, I know how AI. But AI is not a new concept. AI, I would say, more than 60 years ago, IEEE has a computational intelligence society. That is the time where researchers in computer science, they realize computational intelligence is a key, is a booming area in computer science, so they decided to start a society to focus on the research on this. Imagine where AI is from. It's just a branch, quite, I would say, quite a small part of computational intelligence. So that's how IEEE is relevant to emerging technologies. To IEEE, AI is a concept of more than half a century. And of course, we have other societies. Computer Society talks about all the computer science. We talk about semiconductors, electrical, electronics. We also talk about geoscience and remote sensing, right? So we do have a department here talking about geoscience. We do have a geoscience and remote sensing society. And we cover all the emerging technologies, whether it's IoT, smart grid, autonomous vehicles, drones, satellite communication, submarines, nuclear science. IEEE has it. And all the publications, all the research output we have is consolidated in IEEE Explore Digital Library, which provide you a very unique, important, high-quality platform for research publication and references. So for master and PhD students, we welcome you to publish with IEEE. We have journals and conferences. For undergraduate students, you may not need to publish at this stage, but those papers provide a very good venue, a very good resource for you to refer to, for your literature review, and for you to start your coursework. These are the different types of publications. We have journals, conferences. We also have standards, ebooks, and e-learnings. Most likely, you will be spending a lot of time reading the journals and conferences because these are the main category of research publications coming from researchers, and we have top qualities when it comes to computer science, EEE, EEE, as well as other science like telecommunications. And this is another categorical breakdown. Electrical engineering, computer science, 2/3 of the best publication is coming from us. As a researcher, as a student, this is very good news, because the moment you come to IEEE Explore to search for publications, it means you are reading quality research papers. Some people might be saying, like just now when I was asking, what database have you used? The number one database most people use is Google Scholar, right? Why? Because it's easy. I key in the keywords, I get thousands of results, tens of thousands of results. I can just find a paper to read. With the internet, the problem is never to find resources. There are tons of resources, millions of resources. The challenge is to find quality resources. How do you know about the quality? Who assures the quality? And how do you, as an individual researcher, to assess the quality? For IEEE, there are multiple layers. Number one, if the paper is published with IEEE, which means the paper has passed through the peer review process, editors, reviewers, they have checked the qualities, especially the top ranking journals. If you look at electrical engineering, computer science, automation, control, telecommunication, more than half of the best journal is coming from us. The quality check is done by the other researchers. And number two, in IEEE Explore, we have a lot of built-in functions to help you to zoom in to quality research papers. The most relevant, the high impact, most cited, the recent, the newest publications are at your fingertips for you to find those papers. So that's a quick introduction, pretty much what I have repeated, what I have shared in the morning. These are for the benefit of the new attendees. The next one I was trying to share with you are the components in coursework assignment. The first thing is you need to identify whether you are doing an individual work or a group project. For the individual work, you are in charge. Your one-man show, especially for your final year project. How many of you are going to do your final year paper by yourself? Which means just between yourself and your supervisor. Anyone? One person? No? Okay, how many of you are going to do it as a group, like 2 or 3 of you working on the same project, then together with your supervisor? Very good, thank you so much for it. Don't be shy. Raise up your hand and I should give you some, okay, maybe I should repeat. How many of you are going to work as a group for your final year project? Raise up your hand, you'll get a prize. Serious, I'm serious. The prize are all here, you see? Okay, I may need librarians to help me to distribute. Keep your hands in the air so that you can collect. You see, with prize, with a award, you are willing to participate. I'm just kidding, you can ask the librarians for that. Thank you so much, because there is a big difference between these two. If you are working as an individual, you pretty much has the 100% control. On the other side, you are holding 100% responsibility. Anything goes wrong, any step went wrong, it's your fault. Agree? Yes? I don't think you can blame your supervisor. Can you tell, sir, you told me wrongly. It's not my fault, you told me wrong. I dare not to do that. But as a group project, it's all for one and one for all. Agree? Everybody is working together towards one goal, and this one goal will serve everyone because we are working together as a team. So for teamwork, there are a lot of things you need to work out. For those who has already participated in the group projects, first of all, you need to have a discussion on the whole landscape, and you need to decide this distribution of work. And we are talking about distribution of work at different stages of the research. Who is going to do the literature review? And who is going to consolidate all the ideas from the literature review, and how do we discuss and finalize a research topic? And furthermore, the learning and coaching, we are talking about the learning and coaching for yourself. If you are working on a research problem, something, obviously that is something new, right? I think you are more interested in the notepad than what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding. So it's a learning for ourselves. We need to learn this new concept, this new research domain, new research topic, so that we can continue work on them. But in the meantime, we are also learning from other researchers And among your team members, different people have different working styles. Some people is good at reading, but they may not be good at writing. Some people is good at summarizing in text. Some people is good in analyzing data. So we need to find out the strengths and weaknesses of each other and try to utilize all these. And teamwork is very important when it comes to work. I mean, the actual work in the real life. When you become an engineer, when you become a professional, after your graduation, professional knowledge, your education, your background is one thing, teamwork, communication is another thing. And these kind of soft skills is very important to get your coursework assignment to success. The coaching about yourselves, the tracking, someone has to track. If your team has a deadline by this weekend, two of your team members say, oh, no, let's do it next week. Are you going to say no? Somebody has to say no, otherwise the whole research project the whole assignment will be dragged like forever, isn't it? There must be a great timeline, and all of these are skills you will be using when you become a professional working staff in the industries or in the organizations. This is more important than you are in charge. The one-man individual course project, you can say, hey, I don't want to write it tonight, I will write tomorrow morning. If for you, it's okay. But if you are working in a team, that's something different. The consolidation and review, and of course in the final part, which I didn't list down, which is the writing of the report. Whether it's individual research, individual assignment, individual project, or group project, you have to submit a report, isn't it? Whether it's a paper or official report. Different people write differently. Do you agree? Yes? You all have your own different writing style. And so you need to find out the strengths among each of you and consolidate and put it together. And bear in mind, in terms of the course assignment, whether it's individual or group project, these are the common things you need to do. Number one, it requires a planning. This is at the very initial stage. You need to have a research topic. In the beginning, this research topic might be given by your professor, by your supervisor. As an undergraduate, you don't have to worry too much because you are given a research topic. Or you can choose a research topic from a pool of topics. Agree? You are given 10 research topics, you choose one. Or you are directly assigned by your professor. Sometimes you need to come out with your own research topic. That's the part that's a little bit tricky. Not only you need to define your research topic, it can be broad, it can be specific, but you need to also define the depths and the breadth of the research. What is your aim? What is your objective? Are you going to reinvent the space shuttle? Have a completely new design for space travel? Or are you just trying to fix an existing problem or a missing gap in the existing research? Or, to put it even simpler, I'm just trying to do an overview of the current research landscape. That's it. Nothing new for me. So you need to define how far and how depth you want to go, how broad. This can be adjusted, but you need to have an initial idea because this initial idea will guide you for the rest. Once you have your initial topic, whether it's broad or specific, you need to start learning it. It doesn't mean you have a research topic, I'm going to solve the problem. Remember when I was chatting with you in the beginning, before we start the session, engineers are known for two things, and technician is only known for one. For technician, it's just solving the problem. Engineers is to find the problem, where there's no problem at all, but you will find and able to identify the forthcoming of troubles or issues or missing gaps or problems. So for that part, you need to learn first. You need to learn by literature review, what are the current research landscape, what researcher has done as of now. Then you have to question. These are what has been done by others. Is there anything else I can contribute, add on, improve, continue, or break a leg and start something new? So this part actually goes back to the planning. Remember in the planning, you have your research topic. It is a generic topic by your professor or supervisor, but once you have done the learning and the questioning, you should be able to go back, what we call the replanning. You might want to make it more specific, or even alter it to a totally different direction, and with that, you will also, in the same time, revise the depths the breadth, as well as the aim and the objectives. It's only by doing this, then you go back to the part of solving the problem, which is design a solution, design an experiment or simulations. Always remember, finding the problem sometimes is even more important than solving the problems. For solving the problems, a technician can do it because they know what went wrong. But in order for us to know what went wrong, that's a different level. So designing part, a lot of things, research methods. If you're doing experimental simulations, you need to continue all the rest. And of course, if you are doing simulations, programming is required, setting a parameter. And if you are doing something to do with coding, obviously hardcore coding is required, whether it's a script or electoral programs. Then the execution part, this is the part of information gathering, data collection, experimental simulation, notes taking. This, I'm referring to the whole research itself. If it's a group project, that you guys have to find a way to consolidate all your information together. You can't rely on one file on my D drive, another file on your thumb drive to work it. Nowadays, there are a lot of cloud collaboration tools, right? Whether it's G Drive or use GitHub to share your code, share your data, analyze the data. And of course, the tracking, the consolidation and review, and last but not least, the reporting. You notice I'm highlighting two things. One is learning and questioning, and the one is reporting. Because these are the two major parts where external tools, external resources like IEEE can assist you, but for others, you really need to have a deep understanding of the subject itself so that you can continue. For those who have came for the morning session, we talked about the literature review. You may realize that finishing or completing a course assignment is very similar to this cycle. A lot of the times, what you have defined as your coursework, as your project topic, might be altered or redesigned along the way because you find more information on that particular topic. So always keep your whole research dynamic, fluid, give you the space as well as the opportunity to make it more specific, more details, as well as opportunities and rooms to improve and grow. Because one of the benefits of working as a group project is different people have different talent. Along the way, your group members, they may have new ideas which might affect or improve your research methods, or even go back to the actual research hypothesis you have brought up in the first place. If your research hypothesis has been justified or analyzed along the way, and they are finding a new niche area where you can improve your hypothesis, then that's the time you guys should go back to the stage of replanning to change your objective. That case will bring your research to the next level, rather than just finish the work, just finish the research brought by the professors. In fact, if you talk to your professors, talk to your supervisors, their focus is not on solving the problems. Their focus is on finding the problem. Solving the problems, your professors has people like you guys, undergraduate students, or his or her master or PhD students to solve it. So the professor's job is, I need to find out what are the future areas of research, the new domains of research, finding the problem. So that's the key, the important, the essential part of a good research. But of course, at this stage, we are new. We begin by solving the problem, but there's no harm for us to try to locate and find the problem, identify and define the problem. So again, for the benefit of those who did not come for the morning session, there are three major types of references in IEEE Explore. Magazine articles, generally more visually appealing, easier to understand, not so much technical. By technical, I mean mathematics and physics and all those kind of things. So even if there are charts, there will be charts like this, which has illustrations, easier to understand. Of course, that text to explain what these charts stand for. And for summary tables, is a step-by-step. Even if you are new to this research domain, you should be able to follow, right? In contrast, in comparison, for conference paper, we are moving to a more rigorous format, standard 2 columns. with title, author, information, abstract, index, keywords, and we start to bring you charts, tables, figures like this. So this is from conference paper. And to the next level, for the journal paper, which solve or answers the whole research problem, we are starting to see longer papers. Generally, journal paper are much longer. It has all the details, and we're really talking about the serious stuff, mathematics, physics, and everything, right? All these kind of charts, diagram, functions, and equations. So these are the three major type of references. When you are reading paper for your literature review, which we cover in the morning, you should weight yourself at which stage, what type of publication should I read. So for example, in the beginning, we are just trying to understand the research topic given by my professor. I was given a topic by my lecturer saying, so Alex, your final year project is study the current application of sensors in autonomous vehicles used in smart transportation system. So there's three keywords here. One is sensor. So assume my background is in from EEEI, right? Electrical, electronics. So sensor, I know about it. But autonomous vehicle, I don't know much. Smart transportation system, I don't know much about it. So in this state, what I need to do is I need to start reading magazine publications. Why? Because magazines are easier to understand. They will use this kind of chart to explain to me what is autonomous vehicle, what are the components in autonomous vehicles, what is a smart transportation system, what are the subsystems within the smart transportation system. They have signal processing, they have traffic control, they have IoTs and all those in the cars, right? Of course, if you are talking about geoscience and remote sensing, the maps, Google Maps, we all use it in smart transportation. You need to understand all these. Magazines can help you to build up a foundation of a new subject if you are not well trained in that. So, sensor is my forte. I know about it. Autonomous vehicles, I need to learn it. Smart transportation systems, I need to learn about it. After that, I will come back to my research question. I have to ask myself, does three keywords, sensor, autonomous vehicle, smart transportation system, where is my focus? Am I going to focus on the application of sensor, or am I going to focus on the transportation system? I would say, as the title suggests, I will focus on the sensor. Number one, because it's my strong point. I have been trained on that. Number two, I can go in terms of depth and breadth when it comes to this, because I know about it, while for transportation, I'm just a beginner. So the next step, you need to move into more conference paper as well as journal paper, which talks about the existing research on the application of sensors in autonomous vehicles or smart transportation systems. And for those, you need to focus again on the sensor part, the application of the sensor. If you do not understand the part about smart transportation system, you need to continue reading. Means you might need to read papers on smart transportation systems, journals or conferences, because you have to. But along the way, that's how you redefine the research topic. So after you start designing your research experiment or your research hypothesis, your simulations, that part, unfortunately, I'm not at the position of providing you advice because I'm not a researcher in that domain. But what I can share with you is you can also keep reading the existing research publications, because in those papers, they also talk about research methods, right? How the researchers solve the problem. They also talk about what kind of data they're collecting or get consolidated. They also talk about how they analyze the data, what kind of analysis methods are you using. Are they using an R program to analyze it, or are you using MATLAB? What kind of parameters are they using? And what does the result mean? The interpretation of the data, of the results, and the application of the existing research. So all of those will bring you ideas for designing the experiment or research methods. If you are thinking about, oh, I have a lot of data, how do I analyze them? Well, you can learn from other researchers how they analyze the data. It's the same, right? You can use the same method or different method, but of course, In order for you to be creative, to be original, we are talking about original research. You need to come up with your own research methods, analyzing methods. So all those parts, unfortunately, I can't help you. Your supervisor might be able to coach you, but I believe what he or she is looking for is you come up with your own ideas. That's the whole idea of doing a research rather than finishing an exam paper. Finishing an exam paper is pretty much based on your experience. You have done that, but doing a research is different. You are supposed to come up with something new. And after you have all the data and everything, you are supposed to consolidate your findings together with your research topic into a report. In this case, we are using the word manuscript. Whether you are going to submit for publication or submit to your school for graduation, it's the same thing because you need to follow certain format. I'm sure for your final year project, your professor or supervisor will give you some template to follow. What fonts you should use for the title, how should you write the abstracts, what fonts you should, how should you number your functions and graphs. If you are having any data, how should you report the data? The same here. I'm using the IEEE format for illustration. Any paper should come with a title, followed by abstracts, introduction, methods, results, discussion, conclusion, and always end with a reference. Now, your school has your final year project format. If you are going to write for your final year project, you can use that. But in the meantime, I will highly recommend you to check out the IEEE templates as well. So for this, I'll be sharing with you where you can download the template, and from there you will be able to use this as a reference. For the next few slides, I will briefly go through each section. For example, the title, the abstract, and the introduction. But before I do that, I have a very simple question. Now imagine you are doing a research work as your course assignment as a group project. There are four of you working on one topic. Research is done, report is going to be written. My question is, who is this report written for? I know it's written by you guys, the four of you, but who is it written for? For the four of you, who is it written for? Anyone? No? I got prize. I'm not asking for what. I know for undergraduate, what are you written for is you are written for graduation, right? But I'm asking for whom. For whom is this paper, is this report written for? Yeah. For a supervisor? Anyone agree this paper is written for my professor, for my supervisor? No? Okay, anyone agree this is written for the four us? Okay, you're saying it's written for the four us. Okay, very good. Anyone? Who else? Any other suggestions? Okay, my last question is, okay, yeah, any? I saw you are going to. It's okay, he's enjoying his own music. It's okay, so he's not something else. Do you know what's the question? No, you don't know the question. It's okay, it's okay. Okay, my last one is, if your answer is, I do not know who is this paper written for, raise up your hand. I don't know who this is written for. Okay, the rest, give me an answer. Yes? General public. As someone walking on the street? For researchers? Thank you. I would say the answer is a yes and no. The answer, the paper is written for general public if the paper is published. I'm asking about your course assignment. For undergraduate, most of us, our paper is not published. It will be within UP Diliman system. I'm already giving you a lot of hint. And ma'am is already providing a very good direction to where the answer is supposed to be. So who are those papers written for? It's actually written for anyone? Yeah? Okay, now you're listening. Thank you. Who is this written for?
I'm guessing future researchers who share the same idea with your published topics.
Yeah, you pretty much what the ma'am is sharing. You are written for the future you. Your next batch or your future batch of undergraduate students or researchers in UP Diliman system. You get the idea? If your paper is published to the journals, to the conferences, then in that case, yes, it's for the general public. Any researcher across the globe, they are able to access it. But if your paper is only published as a final year project in UP Diliman, most likely your reader will be your juniors who are studying in UP Diliman. They will be searching in library catalog, in your department catalog, to find, oh, this is my senior's research paper published in 2024 on this particular research topic. So why am I asking this question is, when we are writing the paper, we have to understand to whom this paper is written for. Right? We are writing this paper for the future undergraduate student, master student, PhD students in UP Diliman. But of course, if your aim is to publish, then it's different. That's a much higher level. So because of your reader base, you yourself are researchers, are undergraduate students. You have to write in a way so that the future you, or the younger you, will be able to understand how it writes. Previously, I was sharing with you, different people have different writing style. So you have to write not according to your writing style. You have to write according to your reader's reading style. I'm not saying that your writing style is wrong. There's nothing wrong. But remember, we are talking about group project, 4 person, 4 different writing styles. Someone has to consolidate and review and make sure the whole paper, the different sections of the paper, written by different people, but is able to represent a same or very similar style for the readers so that they are able to read, understand, and comprehend your writings. From the literature review, from the research hypothesis, the experimental design or research methods explanations, to the collection and analyzing of data, conclusions, suggestions, etc. The whole paper. You have to write according to your readers. We all have our own writing styles. Sometimes we just happily write, oh, I understand, this paper is very clear to me. But you may want to switch a little bit. Read your writings from a reader's perspective. As a reader, is there anything that I find, oh, this might be able to be improved a little bit, or change, or alter a little bit? And the good thing of working in a group project for a course assignment is you can take turns to review each other's section. I know when you are writing, you clearly decide, okay, Alex, you write the introduction, John, you write the research method, and maybe Mary, you write the data and analysis. That's fine. But once you have written that, you should switch roles, have each other to review it, and after you put everything together as one paper, you need to review it separately, not together, separately, then put all your comments, then you come together to consolidate everything and review it in the last round. The last round is together to review it as one paper, the writing styles. In terms of the format, we have clear guidelines. We have the templates. They will tell you how you should present the figures and charts. But in terms of the style and the content, nobody can help you but among yourself. So the title and every section of the paper bears the same thing. Always remember your whole paper is written for your readers. When you are searching for publications, I'm sure you ask the question, is this article relevant? Should I read this article? So your title should also answer the same question to your readers, which is this article relevant to me? So one of the very simple tricks is use the keyword in the titles to represent the subject relevancy of the research topic. And another very interesting thing is, generally, you don't define the title at the beginning of the writing. You finish the whole paper, then you choose the title. And number two, after you have selected a title, you can play a game with your close friends who are studying in the same department, in the same subject. You gave your paper's title to him or her, ask him to guess, my title is this. What do you think the paper is talking about? Now, his or her answer may not be, most of the time I would say 90 out of 100%, 90 out of 100 times is not very close. It is okay. But as long as what he's talking about is within the subject of your research, that's good enough. So that he knows what subject is it. Because you should not judge the book by the cover. The same, you should not judge the article by the title. You should at least read the abstract. Abstract is usually written after your whole paper is completed. Then you read the paper as a reviewer, not a writer, as if you are reading somebody else's paper. You are trying to write a review, write a summary for this paper. What you have written becomes the abstracts. If you give the abstracts to your friend, you ask him to elaborate based on this abstract, what do you think the research paper is about? He or she should be able to tell you at least 70, 80, or even 90% of relevance. If not, something wrong with your abstract. Either you didn't describe your research topic clearly, or you didn't describe the results you are getting, or the impact or analysis of the results. Because the abstract is a clear consolidation and summary of the whole research process, the whole research paper, from the research topic to research methods to research results. So that's what abstract is about. The same, you can ask you the same question when you are reading other people's paper. Do you straight away open a 10-page PDF, then after reading it, realizing this is not relevant, or do you read the abstract, then decide whether you want to read the PDF? It's the same thing, right? The list of keywords, you can use existing papers, index terms as your list, as your keywords. And the introduction is the beginning of the whole paper. The introduction, again, is meant for your readers. Your readers are not the general public walking on the street, no. Your readers are researchers who has some knowledge of the subject. We're not talking about secondary school, primary school students, no. They should have some fundamental knowledge. And what you need to explain to them is, what is the current research in this particular domain, not specifically to the research topic, but in this research domain, then you bring on to your hypothesis. It's like a bridge, bring them from the general knowledge to your specific hypothesis. And you explain to your researchers. And after, explain to your readers. After that, you also tell them, so that's the problem I'm going to solve. This is how I solve it. This part is where your original idea comes from. So you can use charts, tables, diagram, anything to illustrate. And of course, followed by summarizing the data, reporting the data, and depending on the kind of research you are working on. If you are working on simulations, you need to also report your simulation results as well. And of course, there's a conclusion ended by with a reference list. The conclusion echoes to the introduction. In the introduction, you talk about your hypothesis. That's the research topic, that's the research direction, your proposal. In the conclusion, you should answer, did I solve the problem? What did I get from the solutions? What's the impact of my solutions? And one thing which may be too high to require, too much to demand for undergraduate research, which is propose applications or future areas of research based on your research output. So you have done this research, where can it be applied to? Is there any continuing subject or continuing research this can be continued with? Reference list, you should use your library resources. The library has a very good support in reference management softwares to help you to consolidate all the references. It will help you to format the citation style, reference style, and etc. The next two slides I'm going to talk about the ethical publishing. The basic principle is what is yours is yours. If it's not yours, don't claim it's yours. As simple as that. Or in computer term, don't copy and paste. As simple as that. I'm sure the universities, when you are submitting your coursework assignment, your lecturers will be using those plagiarism checking tools to check how much plagiarism you have done, But that's beyond my consideration. What I'm talking about is the more fundamental ethical level. As a student, as a researcher, you should know what is done by you. Now, there's no way we can start from ground zero. We all start from somebody else, other researchers' research output. Then we continue, which is okay. So if we want to quote other people's research work, please provide a proper citation, indicate this piece of information, this piece of knowledge is from researcher A's publication in 1998 or 2007. And you provide a clear reference in the reference list. And number two, when you are explaining his idea, do not just copy 2 sentences from his paper and paste it here. No, you should try to paraphrase it, so that it shows you understand what exactly it means, and in your understanding, this is his research output. And what's more important is, what does that relates to your research, whether it's your hypothesis, research method, or analysis methods. How does it relate to your particular research? That's more important, right? And in that case, you don't have to worry about plagiarism because you know this is quoting from other people's research work. And the next one is the use of AI. We have clear guidelines of using AI-generated text. The guideline says the use of AI-generated text in an article should be fully disclosed. Fully disclosed means you have to tell us which section. You can't say, oh, AI or ChatGPT is being used in this paper. No. Which part of the paper? Which paragraph? What sentences? Paragraph 1 to paragraph 3 is used with ChatGPT's assistance. And when did you use it? What platform did you use it? All those has to be properly quoted. And the AI should only be used in terms of helping you at the language level, not the content level. So if you ask ChatGPT, oh, what's the latest research development in this? That's already out of the boundaries. That is supposed to be done by you as a student, as a researcher, not by AI. AI can help you to brush up your language, your vocabularies, your grammar, but when it comes to the content, when it comes to the actual research methods, analysis, data section, those parts should be done by you. Next, I will share with you some resources for students and researchers. I will highly recommend everyone to bookmark this page, which is IEEE Author Center. The URL is here, but you don't need to remember the URL. You can just key in a simple Google search, IEEE Author Center. It has everything you need, from the templates, from the manuscript preparation guidelines, which I briefly show with you today. We also have video tutorials to explain to you the different sections of the paper. And for master and PhD students, if you want to publish with IEEE, how do you submit the paper? How does the peer review process works, etc. All right. So that's some of the things available, some of the tools available in IEEE Author Center. I will quickly share with you the article templates which I have previously downloaded. So this is an article template for a journal paper for transaction. I highly recommend you to download or print out this document. It's I think 6 pages. The new version is 6 pages. Everything is formatted according to the final submitted papers format. For example, the font of the title is Times New Roman, and the font size is 24. And for abstracts, the word abstract is italic, and the whole text has to be bold, font Times New Roman, font size 9. How do you number the figures and tables? How do you number and quote the equations? Everything is properly defined. This document itself is a document explaining to you how you should write each component of the paper according to the IEEE format. And of course, there are references in terms of the guidelines in terms of different reference style. If you are citing a journal paper, how should you cite it? If you are citing a book chapter, how should you cite it? Everything is well formatted in terms of template. Now, some of us, especially for our undergraduate students, you may find, hey, this is like too technical, like 2 columns, so many formatting requirements. In that case, you may want to try to download the template for magazine article. It is slightly less technical, but there is still proper format, like the title. The abstract is 2 columns, but you will see like less figures, charts, functions, and of course this depends on your final year project. If your final year project has to deal with a lot of mathematics, physics, and charting, then you have to use the journals format, journals templates, right? So this one is for the magazines, but they do have figures, etc. But the whole functions, the whole sections are more visually appealing. They have different color coding. They have different clear divided sections, so it's much easier to follow in this sense. And it's shorter as well. So that's for the template. All of these you can get it from the IEEE Author Center. And in IEEE Explore, later if we have time, I will also show you. You can also download IEEE papers. Some of the papers will come with programming code and research data. So you can download the code and data for your research purposes. We also have another preprint server called Tech Archive, which allows you to download the latest research publications, but they are not peer reviewed. They're new, they're hot. So all these are our effort in terms of pushing for open science. And if you want to know more, we have these resources available. Of course, for a master and PhD student, this is for your information. If you are aiming to get your paper published to a journal or conference, then we do provide journals and conferences. And we have over 230 journals available for conferences. Every year, we organize almost 2,000 conferences. There are a lot of venues for you to submit your paper to, and you can also submit and publish in open access with IEEE as well. So all this information is available in IEEE Open website as well as IEEE Access website. I think that's all I have. The last part is the discussion, so this is the time where we come back to the questions. I don't think I have answered the first question. What is a course assignment? Generally, a course assignment is like your lecturer or your professor gave you a task to complete. For example, Alex, so you work with John to find out the current research, the latest research of autonomous vehicles. It can be as broad as this, or it can be very specific, like the examples I was giving of the latest development or the new applications of sensors in autonomous vehicles in smart transportation systems. So that can be a topic of research as well. How to research efficiently. I think you missed the morning part. We talked about literature review. Finding research paper, we talked about it in the morning, the literature review. I will share both stack of slides with our library, so if you don't, you have these questions, please refer to those slides. I don't know how to start. I believe we talked about this, right? The steps from the planning, identifying the research topic, and replanning and everything. Is there a tone? What's the difference from other paper like APA? I think what you are referring to is the citation style. How do you cite other people's research work. APA is what we call citation style. We briefly talk about it. You should use a software to manage it. Is overleaf LaTeX good enough for professional IEEE format? The answer is yes. You notice for today I didn't talk about LaTeX, but if you are familiar with LaTeX, you can either use a standalone application depending on your the software package you are choosing. If you are using Windows system, that will be a most likely it's called MacTeX, like MIKTX, MacTeX. If you are using Windows, most likely it's TechShop. Oh, sorry, if you are using Mac, it's TechShop. So, but if you don't want to have a local installation, you can use cloud services as overleaf LaTeX. The syntax is the same, it's standard LaTeX, so there's no difference. It's just something like, do you prefer to use a Microsoft Office, install it on your computer, or do you prefer to use Microsoft Office 365 online? Right? It's the same. Similarity checking services. We, IEEE, do not offer that, but I'm sure your library already have a subscription of that plagiarism checking tools. Grammarly paraphrasing suggested considered as AI. Well, if the paraphrasing used is generated from the AI, obviously it's AI. But if you yourself is paraphrasing other people's research work, then obviously it's not AI. So as I keep saying, the answer lies in the questions. So you tell me where the paraphrasing is coming from. All right, does it need to be mentioned? If it's used by AI, you need to mention it. Any part, even if you are using ChatGPT or whatever tool you are using to make your grammar looks better, you need to tell us which paragraph. If it's a whole article, you should say the whole article has been regenerated by ChatGPT. You need to have, because we will find out. One of the good things about ChatGPT is, or whatever AI tool, generative AI tool is, while you are using, we are also using. And you use it first, so we will know what's already there. AI is learning by itself. You are user number one, I'm user number two. I will have more knowledge. I will be using a platform, the same platform, but the platform has more knowledge. Why? Because the same platform will have the input from user number one, because you already used it. It's a two-way communication. Yes, those tools provide information to you. In the same time, they will also record what you have inputted. They will also record what it has generated for user number one. So that when user number two comes in, what the platform has generated for user number one is already on record. If you are thinking about this as plagiarism checking, when user number two comes in, the results, the tool generated for user number one is considered in the database. So if I put in the same thing, this is plagiarism because it's already there. It's as simple as that, right? I hope that answers all the questions. So that's all from me today. I appreciate your time. Now let's open for some discussions and Q&As. All right? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Alex. Does anyone from the audience have any questions? Kindly raise your hand so we can hand over the mic to you. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Ayan,
My question would be, I think it's different from like the whole lecture, but still a bit specific on, sorry.
Do you mind to keep your mic a little bit?
Oh yeah, sorry.
further away?
I think my question would be about more of the specifics on the references. So, do you have like programs or like applications that you suggest to use for compiling or compilation of references?
I assume you are referring to what we call reference management software.
Right.
Okay, before I answer your question, may I know what reference management software you are already using?
I was familiar with, I think it was Mendeley.
Okay. So you are already using it. Okay, thank you for sharing. So coming back to the question. So this is IEEE Explore, and I'm doing I don't know what I said, automatic identification system. I don't know why my mouse changed to this, but okay, yeah. So let's say this is the list of results, right? So I want to export the references. Let's say reference number 1, number 2, and you can click on this export here. Export citation, select the citation. If you're familiar with Mendeley's or Carroll, all these kind of things, we have different format. We recommend you in this case to export as either RIS or BibTeX or RefWorks. The two most common ones is RIS or BibTeX. Once you click on this, and you can click on download. They will download a .ris file. And what you need to do is use your reference management software to click on the file. It will automatically import these two references into your reference management software. So this is normally how we do it. Okay. To answer your original question, does IEEE has a tool or platform to do that? Yes, we do. It's called Collaboratech. I didn't mention this in the morning. Collaboratech is a tool built in. It's an online service. It doesn't require you to have a local installation. So all you need to do is you need to have an account. You can create an account. You see, create an IEEE account. You create an account, log in. Then in that case, you select these two references. You will be able to directly export these two references into IEEE Collaboratech. IEEE Collaboratech is like an online Zotero. Yeah, to that sense. I hope that answered the question. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I believe someone raised their hand. It's the right side. Oh,
We have prize for questions. Everything must come with prize.
Yes, so we are encouraging you guys to ask questions because we will give prizes. So, ayan. Okay.
Yeah.
Good afternoon po. What are the parameters po for novelty of a research paper?
Okay, so the question is, what are the parameters to define the novelty of a research paper? Okay, before I answer the question, can I ask you, what do you mean by novelty?
It's new and it's not in the published papers.
You pretty much answered the question.
Because when I in high school when I do research, I gain novelty or by doing it locally, doing the research I read or I reference locally. So I do the methods in my local city so that I will have comparison of data from what I reference and from my local city. Is that a novel or no?
So you are talking about the data itself. Are you working on a different research topic?
More like a comparison.
So it's the same research topic. Your comparison is you're comparing two sets of data. Okay, so you are working on the same research topic. Your research methods and your research design are the same. Okay, the analytical method you use to analyze the data, are they the same?
Oh, yes.
It's the same. So now you tell me, is this considered as a novelty?
I think so because it's done in my local city.
Okay. If I can use a much simpler explanation. So now I know 3 plus 3 is a 6. Is 10 plus 10 equal to 20 a novelty?
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Anyone says yes? Anyone says no? No, right? Why? It is all about plus. But if you are telling me now I'm studying 10 times 10, then it's different. You get the idea?
Yes.
So that's why I was trying to ask for 3 things. No, one, is it a new research topic?
No.
Is it a new research method? No. The analysis of the results of the data, is it new? No. Yeah. But don't worry, everybody starts research. That's why in the beginning I was trying to emphasize it is very important for us to learn to read from other people's research work because we know what research topic they are working on. We know what research method they use to solve those problems. We know what kind of methods do they use to analyze the data to gain the insights which echoes to the solution of the research problem. So these are the three things researchers are looking for. As a researcher, as a reader, as your future readers, when they are reading your paper, they are looking for these three things as well. Some people might say, oh, maybe my reader is looking for my paper because he needs the data. Yes, but now the challenge is on the internet, thanks to internet, we have databases which host just the research data. If they need the data, they have tons of data. They don't need that. So in terms of novelty, go back to what you have answered. Is there something new? Is there something different? So in that case, that pretty much defines the parameters of the novelty. That's a very good question. Thank you so much for bringing it up. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You should get double rewards. Thank you.
Appealing, that's the images, and I reckon it's let's say a bit more understandable compared to journal and comprehensive. That's what if I understood it right. So would you say that it's more of a it's more friendly to the general audience, or even if they share tiny bits of idea to the topic they are researching?
What do you think the answer is? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just joking. Okay, so the question is, previously I was trying to show you some of the magazine articles, right? I was using the word, thank you for bringing it up. I was using the word like visually appealing because it doesn't use those kind of serious mathematics, those calculus, matrix, and all those physics, electro charts and all those. They pretty much use this kind of diagram. It's more like a flow chart of figures or summary tables to explain to you the ideas. So for beginner, if you came for the morning session, we also talk about this. So for someone who is new to this research subject, this is definitely easier to engage comparing to reading a journal paper which focus about the detailed specific mathematics and physics inside. So the answer lies within this. But of course, depending on the needs, it doesn't mean that because it's visually appealing, there's no serious stuff. Bearing in mind, we are talking about technical magazines. It's different from those like fashion or football, those kind of stuff. This is still technologies. You need at least, I would say, undergraduate education in engineering, in technologies to understand these kind of things. So when we talk about general public, again, we are talking about at university level, not high school, not secondary school level. Yeah. But anyway, you're already in university. Why are you worried? Right? Okay, any other questions?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You said there are a lot of conference and journals to choose from, but how do we know which conference or journal is the best one that we can submit or publish our work endeavor?
So the question is about publishing, not the literature review part. Okay, so if I may repeat the question is, let's say we have done the coursework. I'm just speaking for majority here. I think my research is pretty solid. I want to get it published. Remember, we are talking about for whom your paper is written for? At this stage, we are written for the future younger you, right? Your juniors. Now I want to bring it to the next level. I want to write it for the general public, general researchers outside of UP development. So I want to get it published. So the question is, there's so many journals, there's so many conferences, which one do I select to? A very simple one is, let's say I'm using this keyword as an example. I want to publish in a journal. So there are already 4,000 journal papers published on this particular topic. I'm sure as a student in the past, we all practice past year exam papers, right? Before you take the exam, you always practice past year exam papers so that you can hopefully pass your actual exam. The same here, all these 4,000 papers are accepted papers. They already passed the peer review, published. So we look at which journals are these papers published in. So we have IEEE Access, IEEE Transactions in Automatic Control, Transactions on Intelligent Transportation Systems, Geoscience and Remote Sensing, Instrumentation and Measurement Sensors Journal. So these journals publish papers which covers this research subject. So if your paper is on this same research subject, you can consider any of these journals. Now, of course, the next level question is, yeah, well, Alex, you provided me 20 lists. Which one is the best? I don't know. You are the person who knows the best. So, for example, I'm interested in the first one because I realized that, wow, compared to the second one, it published like almost 3 times the number of publications. So if I want to know what are the papers published on this, and I want to know whether this journal is suitable for me, I will select this journal. And what I need to do now is I need to read. I know these papers are published. I need to read papers that is published on this journal. What I need to do is I need to assess the level of these papers comparing to the level of my paper. It's like I'm applying for university. Let's say I'm applying for a PhD program or applying for universities. I know my exam results. I need to know what is the requirement of that particular university. These papers are like the students who already passed the exam. They already entered the university. So we need to ask ourselves, okay, comparing to these people, where is my level of research? Again, nobody else can answer that question. You have to do it yourself. I hope that answered the question. Okay, any other questions? Are you still with me? Are you sleepy? I'm trying my best. Right.
Okay, does anyone have any more questions before we end our... Okay. At the back.
Okay, so in our research, we found out a study about related to our research topic, and it is not yet peer reviewed. So, is it possible if we use that resources even though it's not peer reviewed? And if it is possible, what are like the limitations of not using those kind of resources?
Can you repeat the question? I really cannot hear.
Can you repeat the question? It's kind of muffled.
Yeah, maybe
so sorry.
you keep your mic a little bit further from your mouse.
Okay, now, is it good? If we have found out a research paper about relating to our study and it is not yet peer reviewed, can we use it as our research?
Okay.
And
No, okay. Allow me to repeat your question just to make sure I get it correctly. So you are saying you found a paper, but it's not peer reviewed. Can we use it for your research, for your reference, for your research, for your studies? Is that the question?
Yes, po. And what is the like, if it's possible, what are the limitations of not yet peer reviewed research paper?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I hope the rest gets the idea. Peer review, the paper is peer reviewed, and that actually echoes the reason why you should use platforms like IEEE Expo. Now, for a research paper, anyone can write a paper. Even a secondary school kid, yeah, he can claim he writes a paper. But the issue is someone else has to validate. For example, the teachers or other professors, they have to validate that that particular research is correct, is accurate. So this is very important in scientific research and scholarly communications because we have to make sure we are talking on the same frequency and on the right track. If you are getting a paper which is not peer reviewed, the biggest question is how can I ensure whatever the person or the author has written for is accurate? Whether it's his research hypothesis, his research method, data analysis, conclusions, etc. There is no validation in that sense. In comparison, every single paper in IEEE Explore, they are peer reviewed. And we are talking about not just one or two peer reviewer. We are talking about multiple reviewer, and of course, if you are talking about transactions, the quality speaks for itself. That ensures that not only the paper is peer reviewed, but also only the good quality, the top ranking papers in terms of the research topic, research impact, research directions is there. The quality is there. So that, I believe, also answers your second part of the question. If you are using an not peer-reviewed paper, that's like you are building a house on the sand. You don't know what's underground. The sand might be loosey, it might be a solid ground, but you're not sure, right? I hope that answered the question. Thank you.
Okay, so just checking the time, I think that's all. That's the last question that we can accommodate for the interest of time. So if you have any more questions, you can send an email to us at library@englib.upt.edu.ph, and then you can reach out to Sir Alex regarding your question. Okay, and with that, I think we can now proceed with presenting our token of appreciation to Sir Alex Yupeng. Okay, so we have just a small token of our appreciation, sir, for coming all this way to present for our students. Thank you po sa inyong lahat para na umattend dito. Alam ko po busy po kayo. Okay, so I will just read the citation of our certificate. Okay, sorry. The UP College of Engineering Library presents this certificate of appreciation to Alex Liu Yupeng for being the resource speaker on the session IEEE Research Training held at the Meralco Multimedia Lecture Hall LC1, Electrical and Electronics Engineering Building 1, UP Diliman, Quezon City on September 16, 2024, signed Sharon Maria 𝒆𝒔𝒊𝒐𝒏, Head Librarian, Engineering Libraries. Thank you.
Sir, this is our mascot for our IEEE.
Thank you. Make sure you add on the Photoshop. Thank you.
Okay, so for your information lang po, Sir Alex has been came from Singapore, so just to present this talk. So we're very thankful that you're here. Okay, so before po natin i-present yung evaluation form, may request lang po kami. Can we take a photo with Sir Alex? Okay. Punta na lang Alex na lang yung video. Si Sir Alex na lang pupunta sa inyo. So you can, sir, you can go there.
We request all participants from this side to occupy vacant seats here. So that
Yes, we will just take a photo for our documentation. Yeah.
the photos we took today will be posted by our social media.
And these will be posted in our social media accounts. So, and you can please encourage your colleagues or your classmates to attend events like this. Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah.
One, two, three, smile. Camera po.
One, two, three, smile. Isa pa. One, two, three, smile. Kapalas na. Thank you.
Ian, thank you so much everyone for attending our IEEE Research Training. Before po kayo umalis, wait lang po. So for our participants, kindly fill out this form first, and then we will send a certificate of participation after you complete it, and it will be sent to your registered email within the week. Tapos, just select PM session along with your evaluation and comments pa. Ayan. So with that, we would like to thank our speakers, our head librarian, Ms. Sharon Maria 𝒆𝒔𝒊𝒐𝒏, the UPCOE faculty, some of them have attended our sessions the morning and afternoon, and our students. Thank you very much for attending our research training. I hope you can also join us next week for our novel with corrosion session. If you're free next Monday, it will be held via Zoom, so you can still register for that. Okay, so to be updated on the latest EnggLib activities, news, and other announcements, kindly follow us on our social media accounts. It is at EnggLib, so kindly follow or like our pages. And then, thank you very much, and we hope to see you again in our next activities. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Sorry to drag you. Yeah, they have another bag now. We leave another bag and for them.
Sir Alex, do you need this back?
Oh no, this one is for you. This one is for you.
I
All the
will
rest.
turn over this to the library
Yeah, just
for the
for the
student
rest. Yeah,
orientation.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.